It's the awesome time of the night when we get to hear our guest speaker. This year, we invited Jillian Williams. Jillian completed treatment in January of this year for Ewing sarcoma. Jillian and her mom were here a year ago at our golf tournament, so some of you may have met her then. And Jillian and Tony Ostrowski headed over to Prince of Peace Monday morning of the golf tournament last year and spoke to the middle school kids there. So made quite an impression, and I know they really enjoyed hearing from both of you. So last May of 2016, David and I were in San Antonio, and I had been corresponding with Jillian, and we were lucky that she was there in treatment, invited us to come to the hospital to meet her, and we walked into the room, and there were two of the biggest smiles I've ever seen. It was Jillian and her mom, and they both were just chatty and talkative. And actually, Jillian, you might have been out in the hall, like passing out candy or something. But anyway, it was just a great meeting, and it's been such an honor to meet all of Jillian's family, and it's an honor to have her speak tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to Jillian.
I'm going to move the other notes over so I don't read the wrong thing, because that's something I would do. I'm going to tell y'all, I always try to start my speeches with a joke or a saying, and so I found something that says 3 ways to know that you're a cancer survivor. 1, well, this one doesn't really pertain to me because I'm definitely not married, but it says your mother-in-law invites you to lunch and you say no. Number 2, when you use your toothbrush for your teeth and not to comb your hair. And number 3, when you're back in the family rotation to take out the garbage. Good evening, my name is Jillian Williams, and I am 20 years old. I am a junior at Texas Lutheran University and majoring in business marketing, hoping to one day sell prosthetics or medical devices. My leap with cancer is really interesting. When I was 10 years old, our family joined a hunting lease just outside of Woodsboro, Texas. My dad and I came in from a morning hunt, and there was a little boy there that was about 2 years old that we had never met. His mama was holding him, and he was not very perky like a normal 2-year-old would be. He was very pale and had a bald, shiny head. Me being the person I am, I walked up to him and started talking to him and his mom. I quickly learned that his name was Logan. I wanted to play with Logan, but he was not budging. After a little while of talking with him and his mom, I asked if he had just gotten a haircut. She smiled softly and said, no, he has leukemia, which is cancer, and he lost his hair from chemo. My mind went into a whirlwind. I was so confused. I knew what cancer was because when I was 2, my grandmother was diagnosed with breast cancer, but I had no idea that such a little sweet, innocent soul could be diagnosed with such a terrible thing. I asked his mom so many questions, such as, how did they find it? What is treatment? How long does treatment last? What is a trial? And so many more. She was so sweet and answered the questions with as much detail as my little brain could handle. She also taught me what an oncologist was and what they did. When I left there, I told my parents when I grew up, I wanted to be a pediatric oncologist and save children's lives just like Logan. Some time has passed, and I was able to go to a couple of Logan's chemo treatments and saw a spinal tap. I even wrote a 6-page research paper in 6th grade about leukemia and the different types of it. Now, fast forward 5 years to when I was impacted with cancer yet again. I was a junior in high school playing varsity volleyball. Our team was in a huge rut. We were not getting along, and our coach did not know what to do. She came into practice one afternoon, and we could tell that she had been crying. Again, me being the person I am, I walked up and asked if everything was okay. I think that the teammates, they always knew that I'd be the person to ask, so they would Jill, you go see what's wrong, you go ask. So that's what I did. She stopped practice and had all the girls sit down in the bleachers. We had no idea what was coming next. She then started telling us about a young boy named James Reagan. James had been an amazing tennis player, and at the age of 13 was in Europe playing on a circuit. He started experiencing knee pain, so his mom took him to the hospital in Europe. The doctor told him they needed to get back to the States immediately. Him and his mother came back and soon found out that James had osteosarcoma. His dream of being a professional tennis player was quickly shot down, and he was now in the fight of his life. She told us his story 5 years into his journey and was crying because they had just gotten the news that James had a tumor on his heart. James' story was absolutely amazing. He graduated number 2 in his class from Carroll High School, which is a 5A high school in Corpus Christi, and gave the best salutatorian speech I have ever heard. By the way, it's on YouTube. He then went to Rice University, where he was on the golf team and was pursuing the dreams of becoming a doctor. He is another patient that I did so much research on. I wanted to know all about his diagnosis and his amazing story. Unfortunately, I never had the chance of meeting James because he passed away just before his 21st birthday, but his leap through cancer taught me so much. In his time with us, he started an amazing nonprofit called Triumph Over Kid Cancer that has raised over $1 million for MD Anderson. Now to 2015, when cancer hit our family's lives personally. May 4th of 2015, my dad, who is here with us today, was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. Watching him kick cancer's butt was an amazing thing. He did it with such strength, and he never let cancer stand in his way. He even went to work every day, even when he had chemo hooked up to him. Prior to my dad's cancer, we really did not know that much of what treatment consisted of, but for him it was pretty easy, and he did not have any inpatient treatments. February 29th of 2016 is when we found a whole new side of cancer treatment. February 29th of 2016, the week of my 19th birthday, my life changed in an instant. I went into an open biopsy on my left distal femur, praying I would come out hearing the words, "It was just a bone infection, and we got it all cleaned out." Instead, I came out hearing the words, "You have Ewing sarcoma." My family and I went into complete shock. At the time, my brother, who's in college, he's a good student, is not missing school tomorrow, he was on his way to Dubai on a ship for school, and it was just my parents, grandparents, and I to hear the news. Thank goodness, I guess it was God's way, my brother called right when the doctor walked into the room, so he was able to hear the news with my parents and my grandparents and I. Sorry, I keep breathing and I can hear myself. After that day, our lives went into fast forward. We met with my college, Texas Lutheran University, and talked about the withdrawal process. Moved myself out of my dorm and back to home with my parents. And most importantly, we met with the best doctors that God could have ever placed in my life. I first met with Dr. Sigalski and his team at University Hospital. Funny story about this. Coming from a strong Christian family, we know that praying for signs is not something that we should do. My mom was so lost at this point, she was praying for a sign. Dr. Sigalski walked in, sat down, and began his spiel on what Ewing sarcoma treatment consisted of. I noticed a shiny gold ring on his right hand and decided to ask if that was an Aggie ring. He immediately answered yes. If you're an Aggie, you know how much that ring means, and to my mom, that was her sign. She felt at ease and was ready to take on this crazy new life. She was sitting in the room with her papers, and she pulled the desk up and used the doctor's chair and had them all laid out, ready to ask Dr. Sigalski all these questions. So it was quite entertaining, the first meeting with him. My treatment protocol consisted of 9 months of chemotherapy, which was 26 chemo treatments, and an amputation if that was my choice. As you can tell, I chose to have an amputation that is called rotationplasty. With that surgery, I also had an amazing team of surgeons at MD Anderson, Dr. Lewis and Dr. Edelman. Now, I thought the track of playing a college sport was hard, but nothing, and I mean nothing, can compare to chemo every week and hearing the words, "You have to lose your leg." I was on such a high. How could God place something like that upon me? The answer is easy. He placed it upon me to help shape me into who I am today. Without him, I would not be here. He guided my family, my friends, my doctors, and myself through my leap through cancer. Because of him, I am now cancer-free. I am back at Texas Lutheran University and now pursuing a degree in business marketing. Because of him, I am back on the volleyball court playing sitting volleyball and hoping to make the USA Paralympic sitting volleyball team for Tokyo 2020. Because of him, I have started an amazing nonprofit called Live and Leap, where we will soon be helping adolescent and young adult patients ages 18 through 29 achieve needs and dreams of their own. Because of him, I am able to stand here before you and share my leap through cancer with you. Because of him, I am one step closer to my Paralympic goal. I have been training since May on what we call the JV to the national team, which is called the A2 team. This past week, I received an email inviting me to the USA Women's Sitting Volleyball National Team Camp in November. Without hesitation, I answered, of course. Before I end my speech, I would like to thank a couple of people. First off, my friends. Although they are not here with me tonight, because they're, again, good college students and going to class, I am recording this to show them. Dallas and Caitlin, y'all two are my rock through treatment, and I cannot thank you guys enough. Not once did y'all tell me no when I asked for a visit, even if y'all were busy. Caitlin sat with me almost every evening when I was home. No matter how tired or grumpy I was, she would just sit there, smile, and laugh at her dad jokes that she found on the internet. She drove me to multiple one-day chemo treatments when my parents had to work and always treated me like a healthy two-legged girl. Dallas has been my best friend since we were 7 and would make special trips just to sit with me and watch me sleep. Not once did either of them complain, and when times were the hardest, they were right there to remind me that I could do it. Thank you to Carol, David, Patrice, and the 1 Million for Anna Foundation for coming to visit me when I was in the hospital and for allowing me to speak tonight. A dream of getting 1 million prayers for Anna has become a dream fulfiller for many Ewing sarcoma patients. I was asked by Carol last year, but was not sure if I was going to make it to the event because I was admitted for a 3-day chemo treatment and got out 2 days before. Luckily I did, and I had the privilege to hear Rebecca speak and was able to talk at Prince of Peace with Tony, who is here and is also a Ewing sarcoma survivor. To all who have had me on their prayer list, thank you. The power of prayer is amazing and is what has gotten me through my leap through cancer. You can never ask or say too many prayers. And my family, y'all are also my rock. Thank you for pushing me and reminding me that God has a great plan ahead. Funny story, my 5 cousins and I have a group text, and it's called the Crippled Cousins Support Group. We never think that it could happen to us, so remember, cherish every moment, enjoy the ride, laugh during the most difficult times, and shine a bright smile during the best. Nowhere does it say that life will be easy. So remember, be the person to make a difference while being different. Much love, Jillian K.